Okay, so we are now live and active. Welcome to OWCC 2026, day 4. Tomorrow is our last day, and I'm excited about tomorrow. Thank you all for joining, and thanks also for being here from day 1 until today's date. And greetings to all of the volunteers and also to the Academic Excellence Committee, headed by Dr. Mova, should actually be here in contempt, Dr. Mova and his team, Honorable Quineta D.R.S. Johnson, Arlington D. Allen Jr., Edwin, Tito, Joshua, Joseph, Maliki, and all the members from the Academic Excellence Committee of the Liberian Student Union in China. Welcome. To all the volunteers, welcome. Thank you for your service. To all of the old volunteers, veteran volunteers, welcome and thank you for joining. And people already know the drill. They have started sending in their locations. Thank you for joining. We have Gabriel Kuhn from Wuhu, Quinita Chongqing. This is different, Quinita. But putting you at AEC about Chongqing. Okay, we'll get to that bridge. Siafa Masakwe. Good to see you today, joining from Harper, Maryland. Salim, joining from Nanjing. Peace from Liberia. Haji Kalon from Xi'an. Elijah Mo from Wuhan. Marianne from Nanjing. Bilo from, Bilo didn't put his location. But Mariama from Sierra Leone. Sim didn't put his location. Amrin from Dalian. Christopher Domba Momo Jr., one of the oldest participants, joining us from Tianjin. And also Ture from Tianjin as well. Matilda Sedi from Nantong. MD Sharon from Xi'an. Augusta B. Brown Jr. from Liberia. Mel Gibson from Liberia. Asa from Hefei. Rachel from Beijing. And Bogaje from Wuhan. Agro Live, I'm sure that's Arlington. So Arlington, you can change your name. Henry from Liberia. Alice from Changsha. And Honorable Willie, where are you from? And Keita also joining from Hanyang. And Binary C. Case from Liberia. Jeremiah from Suzhou, Bobby Lane from Liberia. Harris joining from Xi'an, Mel Gibson from Liberia. Harrison Duo from Liberia. Edward from Liberia. Atki from Xianyang. Remember Wesley joining from Thailand. Faith and Prince everything have new location. Yomi from Liberia. Ali from Pakistan. MD Islam from Xi'an. Abraham from Qingdao. Simon from Buchanan, Liberia. Ali from Pakistan. Eric from Xianyang. And Michelle F. Logan from Liberia. Rachel Ruban from Uganda. Alfred from EU. And Abdul Karim Hefe, George from Liberia. Omar from Nanjing. And Alexander Honorable from Huan. Farouk from Nantong. Honorable Prince Wasedi from Suzhou. So keep dropping your location in the group. Welcome. Today is day 4. Honorable Michelle from Suzhou. Today is day 4. Tomorrow is our last day. You have made it this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in Him. Day by day is going to take us. So thank you and welcome. So today we're going to focus on browsing the internet safely and also exploring the Microsoft Edge browser. So for those that were joined late, probably they might miss out on some things, but let's see how we can. Maybe I'll save that for that session for at a later time when more people are online. So as always, the platform is here. The YouTube, you can always go there and watch the videos for previous days or previous editions, and there are more other things you can get from there. Thanks so much to all those that follow the Liberian Student Union in China Facebook page yesterday. We highly appreciate. All of the certificates are ready, except maybe you didn't join the program maybe for the last 1 or 2 days. But as you can see here, if you look very carefully, we have about 90 certificates, and we should prepare certificates for at least 95 persons, because I will not have a certificate, and maybe 1 or 2 devices might not have certificates. So technically, we should be about 95 that should get certificates. So currently, we have 90. That means the majority of you here, your certificate is already set and ready. And we'll cross-check the attendance for today and tomorrow. Right after the program, we'll cross-check the attendance. Probably some people missed the first day, but then they need to cover it up for that day, so they need to attend tomorrow to complete their days. That means we have to verify the attendance tomorrow, and with that, we will not put these records on the site until tomorrow ends. We verify the attendance, then we'll send a message out for you to start downloading the certificate. But basically, it will be tomorrow night, China time, or for those in Liberia, it's going to be midnight your time. But we'll send a notice out to let you know that you can start downloading the certificate. For some of you have the same 2 last names. Some of you on the platform have the same 2 last names, and the system is asking you to input your last name. So if you try initially your last name and it don't work, then you can try your first name. If you try your last name and it don't work, maybe you, or another person's certificate come out, try your first name. For those of you that will be in that category of having the same name of other people. But if you have a very traditional name like mine, I'm not sure anybody on this platform is called Blah, so you'll be safe. But if you try the first time with your last name, try also with your first name, and it should work. But if you can get a glance of the screen, you should observe that most of your last name are already here. There's no duplicate entry here, because once we have any certificate with that last name, it will not be generated for the next person. So we have to use a first name. And yeah, that's it for the certificate. For those that will join later on, they will probably be informed. ABK the man. This name you are using is not your real name. We don't know who you are. And you say you also missed 2 days. So the volunteer will decide your fate. But thank you all. Thank you. So now let's move on. We're going to first start by exploring the browser. And then after exploring the browser, we will transition into explaining to you some other things that are very important that moving forward you can also consider. And the reason why we chose the Edge browser, there are so many browser out there, but then with the integration of AI and other systems or platform, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, they are integrating these things into their browser. So it might be useful for you that will be using either Edge browser or Chrome browser. So that's one reason why we chose the Edge browser. Another reason why we chose the Edge browser is because of the simplicity of it, as well as many other features that it have that probably you might not find with other browsers out there. So as we explore it, probably if you have been using other browsers, then you will see the difference or notice some of the differences between the browser you have been using and that of this one. More to that, we will also drill you through, for those that have some skeptical things on their search or their usage of the internet. We'll show you something very useful for privacy. For those that are interested in privacy, we'll show you something very useful that you can follow, and maybe that might be helpful. So for Edge browser, it's best for Windows integration. It also have very good performance, and it also has some built-in privacy. Though when we consider browsers that are privacy oriented, they will not be in that category, but they have some basic privacy features. For Google Chrome, Chrome basically have the largest extension library that you might find. Extension are those different program software, but are web-based, that you can use to integrate into your web browser that can help you to do so many things. It's also useful for the Google ecosystem, and you can also go with that. For Firefox, Firefox has been around for a long time. It's a privacy browser, and it's also open source. And Safari, people, for those using Apple devices, is also for the Apple ecosystem, for those into the iOS and Mac. There are many other browsers out there we're going to talk about. Among them, or one of the most safest one, is Brave. There's a browser called Brave. If you're interested in privacy, that will be your beginning. So the screen you can see is a browser called Microsoft Edge. The screen you can see here is the browser called Microsoft Edge, and that's what we're going to use for our session today. And thereafter we explore. You can see I have a couple of tabs open. I'm going to explore them one at a time. So with the Edge browser, we have from the interface, we can be able to enable vertical tab, or we can leave our tab as it is currently in a horizontal format or the default format. We can also reposition the tab there and make it vertical. And we'll show you how to do it. And all of these tabs that you're seeing here, the tabs basically refers to each of these areas where you can type in your URL or your address for that website you want to visit. So when you type in the website, that area that will be saved for the moment is called tab, T-A-B. So each of these tabs carry different, for mine, carry different web pages. And with Microsoft Edge, we have the ability to either group them. For example, if you're making a research on whatever topic it is, and you find useful websites, you can group all of them and just rename that entire group to be maybe research on this, or papers on this, or channels on this, or product on this. You can also change the color, and you can do so many things with it. So let's see how we can group it. Firstly, you want to right click. When you right click on any of the tab, you will have the option to either add this to a new group, or you can refresh that tab. You can duplicate a tab. Maybe you are working on a particular website, but then you don't want to lose that particular interface, so you can create a duplicate of that existing web page, so that maybe the second one you are duplicating, you want to make changes there, or you want to maybe check other things or do additional clicking, then you can duplicate the web page or that tab. When you duplicate that tab, you have like a photocopy of it. Also, you can move this tab to another section. You can move it to another group, or you can move it to another window. You can move it to another workspace or another profile. So the workspace, basically you can collaborate with other people from your Edge browser. You guys can work on a project together from your browser directly. So that's why we have the workspace. More to that, you also have profile one, so you can log in or sign in to your browser, and another device or another account can also log in or sign in to the same device. So all of them will have different profiles, and that profile will basically be attached to an email. And once it is attached to an email, you will have the ability to synchronize all of your information. So if you are using Microsoft Edge browser on your phone, and you're using it on your tablet, you're also using it on your laptop, once you sign into the profile, all of your search history, bookmark, and everything will synchronize across all of your devices. So you don't have to worry about maybe this website you log into on your laptop, you want to find it on your mobile phone, you will have access to it as long as you sign in to your profile. You can also mute that tab. Basically, if you are playing YouTube video or any video that producing sound, you can mute it so that the sound will not come out. Though your computer volume is up and your sound, everything is in tight, but you can also mute your tab. So every sound that is coming from there will not be heard. But the video will still be playing though. The video will still be playing, but you will not hear anything. You can close it. You can also reopen the tab. You can turn on vertical tab like we talked about. So if you close the tab, for example, let's put something on this tab. Let me just click on this guy. Who's this person I just joined on the screen? Like it's their blackboard. I'm coming, just give me a minute. Somebody is playing a lot. Okay. So let's say we have this tab open. We're working within this tab, but then we made a mistake and we closed the tab. We can still be able to get that same page back by right-clicking on any space here. Like you can see between, there's a plus sign to add new tab, and there's also this minimize button here. Right in between, we can right-click, and then we say reopen close tab. Reopen close tab will bring back that website or that web page that we have just closed. It will bring that page back to give us what we had. More to this, we can also be able to add this thing to group. So let's say add tab to group, to new group. When you click on here, you will now have the ability to put a group name. You put a group name, it could be maybe if all about water harmony or all about biology or chemistry. You just put here chemistry. Then you choose the color of it, and that particular tab will be added to that chemistry group. So right away you will see right beside this tab now you can see there's a blue description here with the name politics. You can see it on the top here. So if we add this guy, we'll go to politics. So currently the color is blue. We can change it to red. We can change it to green. Whatever color it is. All right. Once we do that, we press enter. Now that tab is already on this group. We can also add another tab to it. As many tabs as possible. We come to another tab here. We can right click and say add to a group. Currently we have one group called politics. So if we add this tab there, they will all be in that one group. So whenever you close in the tab, they will ask you when to close the entire group. And anytime you open your browser, you will always see this group will be there. You can decide to ungroup it, or you can right click on the existing tab and say remove it from the group. So you can group your tab based on your own desire or however way you want to do it. Up next, we have the ability, for example, if that same tab was open, we can click here to bookmark the tab. If you click here, you can see this star here in blue. Maybe for yours, it might not be in blue. It will just be clear. So when you click on it, it gives you the ability to bookmark that tab or save it as a favorite tab. So maybe it's a website that you find interesting. You can easily just click on it and it will ask you to, so let's bring that tab back. Reopen, close tab. And then with this tab, we can click here on the bookmark or the favorite icon. Once we click on it, this will be saved to our favorite in the website or our favorite option. You can change the name. You can also decide to save it in a new folder, or if you want to save everything in your favorite, you can decide to do that. So in such a way, the next time you want to find that particular website that you save, once you tap the name, so let's put a simple name here. Let's change the name and just put OWCC. And then I'm going to save it in the favorite bar and press OK. I'm also going to close this tab. Maybe the next time I want to use that tab or go to that website, I don't have to tap the name or the full address of that website again. I can just tap OWCC and everything that will come out, there will be one here where it's going to show to my favorite. You can see here favorite bar. The second to the last option, you see favorite bar OWCC. So that is the website that we have just bookmarked. So once I click on it, it will still open that same website. So that's how you can be able to move around with the different tabs. With all of these tabs, one of the advantage or benefit of, like I talked about, I think yesterday or so, you can set a timer in such a way that once you stop using any of these tabs for a certain number of time or period, they should go to sleep. And the reason why this was incorporated is because when all of these tabs are open, you open as many as possible, they start to drain your memory and even your battery. So probably you might realize your computer, if it doesn't have enough RAM, maybe the RAM of your computer is 2 gig RAM, and you are opening all these tabs. The minimal tab you can go with for best performance is 10 to 15 you can open, depending also on your computer RAM. So for the setting time, we'll show you the timer there. For the setting time, you can decide if all of these guys will go to sleep. Once they are sleeping, then there will be no memory to be used. So you can even check that. If we right click in between here, we can see the option to browse task manager. You can see browse task manager. Once you click on it, it will show you some statistics about all of your tabs that are open and few things that you can do or know about it. So let's wait a little bit for it to pop up. Browse tab manager. What are you opening? Okay, maybe it's gonna pop up another time. For whatever reason, it's not opening from an end, but if yours is opening from your side, you can let us know by sending one in the chat session. With the Browse tab manager, it should show you all of the tabs and give you some statistics on the issue of the memory that's been used by each of these tabs. Okay, so Michelle and Eric, so I don't know if you get me clearly. If yours is opening, you can let us know by sending one in the chat session. Let us know by sending one in the chat session if yours is opening the tags manager for yours. You right click and select Browse Tags Manager. All right. So on that page, you should be able to see all of the, you see memory and so many other things there. It will show you like which of the tab using what number of or percentage of memory. And you can decide to either put that tab to sleep or close that tab, because it might be causing your computer to be slow. So that is basically for the tab area, all those ones above there. Also important thing to note, on each of the tabs, or if you visit any of the website, you should look carefully. You will see in this area, let me open the TIT certificate download page. If you look very carefully, you will see right here in the address bar where you have the HTTP, there will be an indicator here. This one will tell you if the page is secure or not. If you see HTTPS, meaning that website is secure. If you just see HTTP, that is not safe. That website is not safe. So to know if a site is safe, look carefully here. It should read HTTPS. That way you know that the website is safe for you to browse or basically share your sensitive information on that site. Any website that don't have HTTPS is not secure. The S in the HTTPS means secure. So if the site is not secure, you have to be very careful as to what you are doing there. And later on, we'll show you how you can also verify if a particular website or link, because the website basically is a link. So you can copy this link and inspect the link to know if that link or that website have some virus or is very dangerous. I think that was a question of Alvin Genius from Shanghai the other day. So we'll talk about that today. So HTTPS is secure, HTTP is not secure. It's the hypertext transfer protocol. But that protocol, if have another S to it, then it's a secure protocol. Up next, let's turn on the vertical tab. If you turn on vertical tab, you observe that all of the tabs that I have above will go to the right hand side. Okay? All of the guys that were up here before that we're just looking at, they are no longer here. They have moved to the right hand side. So this might also be useful for you depending on if you need it or not. It might be useful for you. So you can see mine is even to the left here. It's no longer up there. So you can turn it off when you right click on an empty space. Right click on an empty space here. You can turn it off and it will come back to the original position. So you can try it and let us know in the chat section. Once you try it, send 2. If yours have changed, send us to. Okay. Let's know if you are following. Send to if you have turned off and on the vertical tab. All right, Dolo, Augustus, Keita, Salim, Mel, and others. Okay. And basically, that's it for the tab area there. The next place we can explore, for some of you, you will have this chat. The chat symbol or indicator will be here. The use of this guy is basically, it gives you the ability to chat with that particular website, or you can even do other things by asking questions. It's more like you having Copilot there with you. Okay, so you can chat with this web page directly, or you can just, it's almost like you have ChatGPT to your disposal, or you have DeepSeek or Gemini right here in your browser. If you don't have it, then that means number one, you have to update your browser. Number two is either you need, or it's not supported in your region, or number three, you will need to either turn on your VPN if you are in a country where it is not supported. So with this guy, you can be able to chat, ask questions, maybe how to bake a cake, or how to wash clothes, or can you tell me anything about this current web page? So let's put something and say, oh, let's use how to do it. How to float when swimming. Okay, how to float in water. The on and off cannot work in Google Chrome. We are using Edge browser, so it will not work for the other side. So this one is basically for Edge browser. So if you have, what is the thing that I just entered just now? We are using Edge browser. We are not using Chrome browser. Maybe another day or another time we'll talk about Chrome browser. But you can try it, like you can see here. I asked how to float in water. So I try to explain the process of how to float. We can even ask it to tell us or to summarize this web page. So if you have a research paper, this might be very useful for you if you have a research paper. Once the paper is open, the PDF is open, you can tell that guy to explain or summarize the entire research paper, or summarize the introduction, or summarize whatever you want for that page to summarize. You can also ask it to explain some mathematical equations in that research paper. So it might be useful for you in so many ways. All you have to do is open the PDF version in your browser. If Microsoft Edge is your default browser, once you double click on the PDF, it should be able to open in your browser. Or when you download the paper, when you go to your download folder, you click on it, it should also open directly in your browser. So you can expand this chat, this Copilot chat here, and you chat with your paper, ask questions, or even not just a research paper, you can also do this with any website to converse with that website. If you don't have the option, like I said, you either have to update your Edge browser, or you can, or your country is not supported, or you can use a VPN. Up next is the three dots, the three horizontal dots right beside that guy. It gives you the ability to explore so many things, starting with Zoom. If currently the page you have The text of it is very small and you need it to expand a little bit, you can click on the plus sign and allow the page to zoom in so it can meet your standard or your requirement. But by default, it is on 100 for almost all of the website or all of the browser. The default zoom is on 100. Favorite is the same as what we did with that other site that we bookmark as OWCC. So when I click here on favorite, I will see all of this website that I have added to bookmark or favorite. I will see all of the websites. So you can do it for useful websites, and that might be helpful for you. So it's easier for you to just go and find a particular website that you have used and you add it to your favorite. If also maybe this one, many people know about history, your browsing history, you can click on it. It will show you all of the website you visited. Everything will show up there. So if maybe your child, your partner, or your employee, or your co-worker, maybe they open YouTube, and then while you are coming, they try to close the YouTube page to behave like they are working. You can just come here and click on the history. Click on the history, it's going to show you the website the person just visited. Except the person now, like you, that's in this class, when you come here to history, you can delete the history by just clicking. If, for example, the first one is this guy, you can just click on this X, it's going to close or delete that history from there. But if you don't know, you leave it there. You just close the tab, and you feel like maybe nobody will know. It depends on the person though. But that's just an easy one for somebody to know how to check your history. There's so many other ways to know, but quickly, that's the easy way to do it. The chat, once you click on it, you can ask questions. The questions are up to you. Just click on it and then you can ask questions. Also, you can view all of the groups that you have created. So that group that we created for politics, if we have so many groups, they will all be here, and easily we can just go into each of these groups, or we can open any of them. If you download anything, and probably you can find it. Sorry guys. If you download something, you can find it easily. You can click there on download, and it will show you all of what you have recently downloaded. If you click here on download, it will show you all of what you have recently downloaded. You can also configure your default download location. We'll show you that shortly. You can configure your default download location. That is, anytime you're downloading something, it should save into a particular folder. If you install some extension, Microsoft have so many extensions. When you install an extension, they will all be here. Some extensions are used like for Grammarly, for QuickBooks, for Google Classroom, and all of that. They are all extensions. And these extensions are like mini programs. They are like mini programs, so you can be able to install some of them, and it depends if you know the usage of that particular extension, then you can go with it. You can also delete your browsing history, and you can delete it based on certain time period, maybe over the last 24 hours, over the last 7 days, or whatever it is that you want to delete. So this might be helpful if you are using a public computer, and once you leave the cafe, you've been using that computer for the last 24 hours, and once you leave the cafe, you want to make sure that all of what you were doing online, you want to delete it before leaving. So you can also make use of this by deleting your history. You can also directly print this web page. When you click on print and you have a printer installed, you should be able to print this web page. Translate, you'll be able to choose different languages, but this translation is also in you can also find it in your search bar here. But if you have a text in Chinese, you can translate to English and vice versa in whatever language it is. So if you're visiting a website that is in foreign language, you can use the translate option to translate that web page into what you wanted to show. If you click here on more, you also have additional things that you can review, like the performance and so many other things you can do from here. But let's click on settings, and then we explore the last part before we go to our next session. If all is clear for now, you can send clear in the chat session so that we know all is clear. If you have any question, then you can raise your hand so that we can take it off from there. I think the browser issue shouldn't be much of a problem for many of us because we are browsing the internet every day. But if all of what we are explaining, your browser you have been using don't have it, and you think these things are useful, then you can also transition and use Microsoft Edge. You can still have your old browser still with you, but at least for certain things, you might not want to use. Yeah. Francis, you might be removed very shortly. Okay, so that was clear for everyone. Up next is for us to view our settings. So you come on the three dots and then you click here on settings. Click on settings, is going to bring up this page. All right, it's going to bring up this page. Like I talked about profile, you can add additional profile, which is another email, and you can be able to go. You can also add another account or manage all of your accounts. But the next one there is password. So many of you, when you are visiting website, or many of us, when you are visiting website, you register and it will ask you to save your password to your browser so that you don't have to type the password again the next time. So many of us have our password saved to our browser, which is not a good practice, except you are sure of protecting your computer at all costs. The reason why it's not a good practice is because if somebody hacks your computer, they can easily come here and view all of the saved password. So now the person just don't have access to your computer, but they have access to all of the websites you have visited, the username and the password. They can be able to see everything. So now the person have so much access that you can imagine. So you come here to password, you can click on Microsoft Password Manager. Once you do that, you'll see all the websites that you have password saved on. Or you can easily come in the search bar and search for the particular password by tapping the website name. Okay, you tap the website name and then it's going to bring up that web page. For example, if it is this one, you just click on it, and sometimes it will ask you to input your computer password. If you have a password on your computer, if you don't have a password on your computer, then you can just enter, and that should show you the password for that particular website. So also, if you lost your password to a certain website that you have logged into before, there's a way you can come to find that password for that particular website, provided you have saved that password before. So you can come here and find the password. So if somebody tell you, oh, I saved this password, man, I can't remember it, or I need to know the password, you come here and find it for the person or find it for yourself. Anytime you log into Facebook on your browser, it's always open. But you can't remember the last time you changed your Facebook password. And now you need to log into your phone. So just come here and find your password, provided if you have saved that password. Up next is the appearance. That is how you want your browser to look. Currently, you can see the color here reflecting. It's the same color you can find above. So you can choose different colors. For example, if I go with this guy, it will change my entire theme or appearance of my browser. But I like to keep it like this. So you can change yours and try it. And then how can one find IP addresses of domain name within a website using Edge browser? You want to find IP address of domain name within a website. I think the description is not, but I understand the logic. If you want to find a IP address of a particular website, you can use trace route through your command prompt. Open your CMD and put trace route, and then you put the website URL or the website address. Then it's going to show you the route in which it took from your current location until it reached that site. So when you are visiting, for example, facebook.com, it's not sometimes just you and Facebook communicating right away. You have different servers in between. So from your gateway, because anything you do, there's a router that you're connected to. So if you're using a Wi-Fi, that Wi-Fi IP address, the router IP address is a gateway. So anything that is leaving that internal network to go outside will pass through that gateway. But before you do that, it will first check in your local network to see if you have that website available. Probably it's a local server that is already within that internal network. So it will just quickly find it for you. But if you don't find it or you don't have it in your internal network, then it will go outside to ask for it. It's more of like you want to check if you have maybe chili or pepper or salt in your house. You first check around to know if you get it. If you don't get it, then you go outside. But before going outside, you have to pass through the door or open your door to go to the next person's house. So the door now is the gateway. So everything will first be that will be your first location, and then all of the servers in between. You might not know all of the servers that you have to pass through. Maybe from your gateway, it will go to your ISP, your internet service provider, and then for your internet service provider, it will go to another provider or another server. So use a trace route or DNS lookup in your CMD or your command prompt. You will find the IP address of a particular website. There's also another website online that you can also use to find IP address of another website. For passwords, you say click on password and then search for the particular password of that person or of that website, and it's going to show it to you. It should be very easy, just easy hack. For the appearance, you can also make your browser to appear dark or it should appear light. But by default, it's on system, so it's going to just give you the default one that you currently have. But then you can put it on dark or light, depending on if you want to have a dark screen and all of that. This screen is far from me. I'm using another screen here to speak, except I turn off my video and then go behind that screen properly. There are so many other things. Like for example, we talk about the page, zooming in a page. So here you see the default is on 100, but you can put your default to whatever you want in such a way the next time you open your browser, the writing should be very big. So you can do it like this. So if somebody browser, maybe the writings are very big, that means they are not using the normal 100%. You can easily use the control key and the plus key on your keyboard. The control key and the plus key on your keyboard, plus will zoom in, the minus key will zoom out. So you don't have to maybe even click on zoom or come here. Control and plus or control and minus will zoom in and out of your screen. Something important here to talk about. Most of the things, they are just readable. You can just read them and know what they will do. let's come to system and let's click on download first. So I'll talk about this. When you click on download from the settings, you can decide where you want your files to be saved anytime you download something. Anytime you download a particular software or a particular PDF or document, they should be saved into a particular folder. You can see mine, it is saved into this folder or into this path. So you can change it by clicking on change. Maybe your drive C is getting full and you want everything now to be saved on drive D. You can easily do it from here. And also, anytime you are downloading anything, it should ask you before downloading the file. It should ask you. If you don't do it, once you click on download, it will start downloading by itself. So you want to make sure that you either have the same settings here as mine. And then once it's download, you also want to open the file in your browser. And you should also show all of your download menu and everything. So it's very easy to read. Once you can read and write, they should be very easy. Let's move on to system and performance. When we click here on performance, number one, you make sure you keep your performance on balance in such a way that it will be able to give you the best performance. If you want it to be on maximum, you also have to consider your computer memory, because it's going to now operate very dense. So you want to make sure that your computer memory is good. There is something here I want us to just look at. Here you can see I talk about the sleep. So if you look carefully down here, you see memory. Under memory, we have the option to automatically put our tabs to sleep. If you don't have this check, your tabs will always be active, always open. But if you have this check, then it's going to save memory in an event where you have these tabs open a lot, but then you are not using it at that time. So the fact that you are not using it at that time, it should not consume all of your memory. So you can make sure you turn this on, and then after how many minutes do you want to put a particular tab or all of your tab to sleep? Mine is here on 30 minutes. You can decide to put it maybe on 12 hours or after 1 hour. That is up to you. So after every 1 hour, all of your tabs that are not active should go to sleep, meaning they should save memory. So this might be helpful for you. Yep, I think for the most part, there are many other things that you can do from here, like a default browser. Currently, Microsoft Edge is my default browser. But if you have another one, then you can be able to change it even from your computer settings. You can change it as well. You can also add another language if English is not your first language and you want to be reading documents or reading websites or have your entire setting into that language, then you can add another language. So when you click on settings, you also want to make sure that you either check or uncheck this guy, so that whenever you restart your computer, Microsoft Edge should also start with the boot settings. It should also start. For some people that are using VPN per se, if you close the VPN, sometimes you might not have the ability to open or the browse. It might tell you maybe can't load this web page and all of that. It's because of the proxy settings. You want to make sure that you turn off your proxy settings, or even the web browser will tell you to turn off your proxy settings. Yeah, all of what I explained is the reason why I choose this to be my default browser. But I have Chrome there as well, and I also have Edge. But I think I can do many other things with Edge than Chrome. So, but on my phone, I'm using different browser on my phone. I don't have Edge on my phone. I have Chrome on my phone, but I don't have Edge. But I have another secret browser, which I will show you. It's called Brave. Brave is a privacy browser, and it does not cover all of these tracking, your history, tracking, so many things that it does for you. Even if you're using Brave to watch YouTube, you will not receive ads. But we'll get to that very shortly. So I think for the most part, these are all the settings. You can just go through them and get to understand them. They are readable things, but just to show you where you can find certain things. So that's why we pull this out to show you. If all is clear, let us know in the chat session. If all is clear, let us know in the chat session so that we can move on. But why Edge is usually very slow? Edge is not very slow. I think it's your computer, or because the tabs, you have so many tabs, and you have not changed your sleep or turn on the sleep mode. Like I said, for example, your computer is 2 gig RAM, and then you have 20 tabs open. You also have different software. You have Microsoft Word open, Excel open, PowerPoint open. You have your simulation software open. So even if you're using Edge browser, your computer will still be slow because you are running on a 2 gig RAM, but then you have so many things open. So sometimes you have to understand how do I consider, or how do I know if it is the browser causing the slowness, or if it is my RAM that I have causing the slowness and all of that. Okay, guys, so if you are following, please send 1. It's like many people are sleeping. So let's switch our pendulum to phase 2 of our session. If you are just joining, the certificates are ready. But then it's like we have to carefully check today's attendance because few people are not here. So that means they have to investigate themselves. We'll either delete their certificate or not upload it to the server until they can confirm their attendance records. So I think we'll use today attendance to finalize the certificate or upload the certificate. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So the video for day 1, day 2, and day 3, they are on the website. They are also on the YouTube channel here for TIT and also for LSUIC. And we have talked about this every day. So please, if you are not finding anything, you know where to go. Tomorrow after the program, this is the webpage that you're going to come to. There's the webpage you're going to come to, and then download your certificate. So all you have to do, come in here, type your last name, and then click on search. Thereafter, you see click to download your certificate, provided you have any certificate there. If you know information about you, you will carefully see that no record matching the info. So you carefully see that. And if you have any question, send us email from the address that is there. Reach out to any of the volunteers. Send a direct message on WhatsApp, WeChat, anywhere you can find us. But make sure before you reach out, know within yourself that you attended 4 of the 5 days or all of the 5 days. Because once you come, we'll tell you to go and check the PDF document for each of the days and find yourself in it. For some of you have been through that process, so you know about it. Now let's move on. Let me close this guy. And also close this guy. At this point, you might want to maybe take screenshots, or you might want to write down the name, or however way you're going to take record of it. So for those dealing with images, let's assume that you have you have an image that is not that clear, you can upload that image and then you upscale the image. So when you upscale the image, you make it to be much clearer. So if you have something that is not clear, you can upscale the image. So you use this website to upscale the image by different scaling factor, by the factor of 2, factor of 4, and all of that. So the next time, let's find something here to see if we can try it. But you can visit the site. That's imageupscaling.net. Imageupscaling.net. Let me also see if I can copy the URL. I don't want to open this thing. I think I'll just close it. You guys can try it from your side, because if I have to be going through all of the pictures, this is already live. I might show some other pictures that will not be for the public. So you can try it from your side. Let me copy the link and see if I can paste it in the chat. Though you'll not be able to copy the link from Zoom, but let me see. Just a moment. I want to send these links to you guys in the chat so that you can probably follow me. For some, it might be difficult for them to type it quickly. So however way you would do it, that'll be fine. If you have the chance to type it quickly, or if you take a screenshot of it and move on, that will also be great. Oh no, let me paste the link there. All right. So you can use this website to upscale images. Up next, this website is used, like we talk about a password. Let me minimize my screen a little bit. The last time somebody asked about password. So if you have a password that is not long enough, for example, 123 ABC, that password might be attacked maybe in 1 or 2 seconds because it's very short. If you also have a password that is maybe OWCC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it might take about approximately 8 minutes for that password to be hacked or exposed or predated, because this one just comprises of letters and numbers. But if you have something very long, the longer the password, the difficult it is for an attacker to brute force your password or guess your password. The longer the password, the difficult it is for somebody to guess your password. So always make sure that you do that. The longer the password, the better it is. But for some people, they use one password on almost all of their websites. And which is not right, because like we said, if there's a data breach, which we're going to get to very shortly, if there's a data breach, then your password might just be exposed. And in that data breach, whenever it happens, the attacker will get a username and password for all of those users. So the person might just try the same username and password for Facebook. If it doesn't work, they try it for maybe Instagram. If it works, they try it for the other side. They keep trying it all over, especially if you are a public figure or maybe a rich person and somebody is interested in exposing you or finding things about you. So usually when there's a data breach, they always search the data to find important people. So you can download this Proton Pass. It's going to help you with a password manager, wherein you can now generate, it will help you to generate passwords that are very long, complex, and very difficult for somebody to just easily guess. So you can use a password manager. There's also One Password Manager. It's a software called One Password or a website called One Password, but you have to pay. And also Google have Password Manager as well. So you might also want to go with it based on your own option. But if you think you can remember all of the different passwords for different websites, then you don't have to use Password Manager. One of the disadvantages of using Password Manager is that you have one centralized password. Like here, if you create an account, you will have this one password to log into your Password Manager. Within your Password Manager now, you will have random password that even yourself don't know. But if somebody know the general password to your safe, or they know the general password to your Password Manager, then they will have access to all of the other passwords. So if you think you don't want to have any kind of an online presence, then you can decide to just remember it yourself. But it's also not advisable to write down your password because somebody might be cleaning up, or you might move and the person might just see your password on that piece of paper and try to use it. For those into data mining for threat intelligence, you might also want to check this website to explore or show you all of the reports about data mining for threat intelligence. This other website that I'm going to show us now is the, let it come up quickly. I think this guy is sleeping because mine is on 30 minutes. So because of the 30 minutes timer, so I put some of my tabs to sleep. But meanwhile, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and ask question if you have any. We might leave from here, probably before 9 o'clock today. We might leave from here. So if you have any question, you can either use the chat session or you can raise your hand. So this website, you can use it to scan URL. I think for Alvin who asked to know about malware, viruses, and phishing attack, you can use it and scan that URL. So if they send you the URL in your email or they send it to you in whatever place, you don't have to click on the URL or the website. Just copy that URL or that website, come here to this web page, and then input the URL here. It will now show you if that URL has virus or you have some malware there and all of that. So you can use this to safeguard yourself so that you don't just click on any link or you don't just click on any URL without properly analyzing that URL. This second website will also do the same. So the next time you receive any URL, any file that you are suspicious about, then you can come and use this guy. So I will send you this link shortly in the chat session. All my tabs going to sleep, so you gotta wake up like a child just waking up in bed. This one, you can use it not just for URL, but you can also use it for file. Maybe they send you a PDF document or Word document or Excel document. They send you even a picture, because for images we have something called steganography, where we can hide text within image. We can hide images within image. We can hide keywords and phrases and viral lines and viral codes into images. That was my master's research focus. So it is possible to do these things. You can even hide images in video, video in images, and a lot more. All right, I will send a link shortly. Let this guy load up. So, let me copy this one before we talk about it. Ooh. But I think I have the same thing on my other computer here. So if this guy is reading slow, then we can use computer 2 for that purpose. I think because it was sleeping. So let's see. Just a moment. Ooh, bro. All right. Let me share my screen here on the other side. So we should have 2 screens up. Let me disable the other guy there. Okay. So when it comes back to itself, then we will go ahead. So this website called Delete Me, you can use it. I think I have to. Let me know if you can see the other screen. Come and let me stop this guy.
It's still reading. Blood has started sharing screen.
Okay. All right, I'm coming.
I'm seeing you. Are you? I'm seeing now.
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's pick up from here. So this Delete Me website, if you tired of using the internet and you no longer want to have your information online, then you can delete all of your digital footprint online. Maybe you decide that you want to go back to the Stone Age and you don't want to have any of your information online again. You can use this website, but they might ask you to pay for their service, but just letting you know so that you know that it is possible to delete, though it might be skeptical, but at least for the most part, it's going to delete as many things as possible about you. There's another website called Face ID, Face Checker ID. You can also use it by importing a picture of someone, and it will find all of the social media platform that that person is on. But this delete me is used for that purpose. We talked about the password manager already. I think I sent this link in the chat. This website, you can use it to know more about internet intelligence, and it's going to give you insight into so many other things that you can know about internet, to also know about what is happening out there. Like for example, it tells you like security team not only need real-time visibility, but insight they can add upon. So this guy is going to help you provide modern security team the intelligence needed in order to stay ahead. So you can read through their site and you can learn more from it. Let me share also in the chat session. After here, take your time and go through each of them. And you might be able to learn more from it. We'll come back to this guy. This was the one that you asked for the link. Let me just share everything there, so when I start to talk, we might not have to be going back and forth, because it might slow down the movement. So as I'm copying now and sending it, please take your time and copy it, or take picture of them while I'm sending in the chat session. Please take picture of them, so you don't have to ask again and again. Oops, sorry. Trouble coming. All right. Please copy them, save them wherever you can. Yeah, you might also want to learn more about the latest when it comes to the intelligence community, security, and privacy. You can also use this site to know more about these things. The NSO group